So today our concept is cookies. So in the previous class we discussed about one program called as login page. So we will see this login page today, and we will try to set a cookie here, and that cookie we will be accessing in our home page. Okay, so we already created a home.php. So when I just demonstrate you this particular program, when user enters the username and password which is there from database, the database kits, I need to have a table called as a login table. So let us on our WAMP server. So once the WAMP server is on, then let us go to the database. So use kits, we are connecting to kits, and select asterisk from login table. There is a login table. You can see in our previous class we have been inserted two values, and now these are the values. So username is this and password is this, and the status is 1. Okay, means he is active user. Then accordingly we wrote the code. So here we are selecting the user, select the status from kits login where user is u and password is p, and we are setting the values bind parameter of u and p, and we are getting those two particular we are setting the values, and we are executing, and we are fetching one particular row. This will let you know the status. The status is 1, then we are making that login is successful, and here we are forwarding it to home.php. But before forwarding to home.php, what we can do is we can set a cookie. So how to set a cookie in PHP? So I will let you know how to set this. Here PHP provide a method called as set cookie. Take your notes and you write down set cookie. It takes different parameters. What are those different parameters? First one is name, next one is value. This value can be anything. It can be an integer or a string or anything. And the next one is expire or expiry of that particular cookie. Means if you are given the time, this time is in seconds. So now if you're giving it like a 3 the value, then it expires in 3 seconds. So similarly, it takes another thing called as a path. What is this path is? So to which particular website or to which particular path the communication has been made. So either to the root it has to send, or to the subdirectory, or which folder you need to set the cookie is demonstrated here. I will let you know this. Okay, and the next one is domain. So by default in our case the domain will be localhost, so we replace the value here with localhost. And the next one is secure. So this lets us to make the protocol as HTTPS protocol. So in this regard, it is just we put the values called as true or false value for this. So for the secure, either true or false value for secure, and the last argument is HTTP only. Okay, this is also an true or false boolean value. So suppose if you want to set a cookie, for example, I want to set a cookie like set cookie, then I can give it like a user. This must be compulsory a string. Okay, so this should be a string. So it's an associative array. When we are want to retrieving the values, we are having a super global array called as $_ cookie, with the help of which we can get this. And this will be the value of the user. Suppose this will be the value like Wasim, then expires in some 60 seconds, so I will give it like a 60. Okay, then the path. So by default the path, because my home page also located in the same directory, that's the reason we are giving the path called as / here. Okay, and to which domain we are being sending the cookie is to the local host, that is the domain name. So I don't have any HTTPS protocol, then I'll write it as a false, and I want to communicate via HTTP protocol. That is the reason the last value will be a true value. Okay. So this is a general way that you can able to create a cookie. So it's a comma separated. See how many arguments are there. This is name, this is value, and this is the expiry time, which is in seconds, and this is the path, and this is the domain, and this is the either secure or not, and this is which protocol you want to use, HTTP or what. Okay, so simply I will copy this and I will go to my login page. And where is the login? Okay, so I will go to the login page. So in the login page, just now I demonstrated you that if the status is 1, then we are forwarding this to a page called as an home.php. Here what we do, we create a cookie. So already I have been copied from there. So I create a cookie called as an user, where this should be the name of that particular login. So where I can get this? So this is already there in dollar username, because from above, from our program, we are getting that particular username. Okay, so we are accepting that username from dollar underscore post of username. So this value I can use it like an key name, sorry, cookie value. Okay, so 60 seconds, and remaining things are as usual. So now when it sets a cookie, so this is a string, this localhost is also a string. So now when the cookie is being set and the page is being forwarding to home.php, in the home.php we can able to retrieve that particular cookie now, because all these things lies in the same localhost. So localhost domain will set all these cookies. So let us execute this program. So how to execute the program? So how to execute the program is localhost followed by login.php. So already we have details. These details are there. So I will give it like Wasim and Wasim login. Okay. Now we can able to observe that now in the cookies, in the local host, if you go to cookies, then you got one cookie. Okay. So here a cookie has been set now. Okay, and it has expiry time. Okay, so it expires in the same meanwhile in a 60 seconds. So that's the reason that here it expires on the same created time and expires time. Okay, if you refresh this, now you can see that it has been vanished. Okay, the cookie is not there. Okay, why? Because sorry, in 60 milliseconds, sorry. So now I told it as seconds. So in 60 milliseconds, that particular cookie has been expired. Okay, so now with this demonstration, you can able to observe that it remains only for 6 seconds. Okay, so the cookie is there only for 6 seconds. Why? Because we are given a value called as 60 here. Suppose, sir, I want it to remain for a longer time, for 60 into 60. Okay, so can I know how many minutes it will remain? How many minutes it can remain? So you can calculate divided by 60, then 60 into 60, 3600 by 60. So appropriately we get a value, and the cookie remains for a longer time. So now let us execute this again. Login.php, Wasim and Wasim. So we are going to, now you want to welcome the user. Welcome user Wasim. You should display the value here, whatever the cookie is there. So now again you can check that in the domain, in the cookies, you are having a cookie, and you can see all the details: name, content, domain, and the path from where it has been gone, from where it has been there, and all these details. So it remains for 1 minute, for 6 minutes, sorry. So you can see that. Okay, so 60 into 60 into some 365. Okay, so suppose or into 24, because per hour per day you are having 24. So if you give like this, then this cookie will remain for 1 year. Then okay, this cookie will remain for 1 year. Suppose if you are not giving any value, if you are giving it like a 0, okay, then cookie remains till your browser is closed. Till your browser is closed, the cookie will remain. So let us give this value localhost slash login.php, and we are logging in again. So here you can see the cookie is there, and you can expand this and you can check the cookie. So now when the browser session ends, the cookie is ended. Why? Because I told you that when browser is closed, when you give a value as called as 0, then the browser is closed, the cookie will also get deleted. Okay. Now, sir, how to retrieve the cookies? This is to set a cookie, but how to retrieve the cookie? How to retrieve the cookie, guys, means you are having a super global array. So I will demonstrate you this. I will demonstrate you this with the help of the home page, because in the home page just we wrote echo welcome user. But now I want to welcome the user whose name is entered from that particular login page. So you're having a super global array called as a cookie, which holds the name. What was the name of my cookie? What was the name of the cookie, guys, earlier? So you can able to observe that the cookie name was user. The cookie name was user. So hence in my home page, we can write it like user. Okay. So this will get you the value. But first of all, we have to check whether if is set. What is is set method? Is set method is used to check whether the array has an index or not. Okay, a array has a value with this index. Okay, so this is generally associative array. So dollar underscore cookie is associative array in which the index name is user. Okay, but why? Because from here, from the login page, we created the cookie name as user. So sir, if I create a second cookie, so you can able to create any number of cookies. Okay, so now those many number of cookies again will be storing it like an associative array. So this name will be replaced. So how many cookies you are setting, those many cookies you can able to retrieve. So here I can write it. Here I will simple make a variable called as dollar underscore cookie of user, and I can able to store this under one variable called as dollar user equal to. Okay, means one variable I am creating or dollar u or anything. So I create one variable called as dollar. So I'll write here, I'll concatenate this dot dollar u. So whenever user is entering via proper channel, then only you will having a cookie. Okay, or else what I can write, I can simply able to write that header location colon login dot php. So what does it mean? Means when user doesn't set a cookie, so what I am doing here is I'm redirecting the user to a page called then location, that is login.php. Okay, with a simple example you can able to understand that. Suppose if I delete this cookie, remove, okay, and now I'm trying to run this. Now you see that the home.php will not be get the output of this. You can't see the home.php. Why? Because there is no cookie, hence you can't access home.php now. Even though you enter home.php, it is redirecting to login.php. So I need to go definitely with the username and password. If I go on login, then you can see welcome user Wasim. So in this regard, you can see that if the browser is closed again, because I made it an expiry date of that particular cookie to 0, so hence the session is expired. Now I write home.php. So okay, the whole browser need to close. Sorry for that. The whole browser, if I close, then I will lose the presentation also. So I can't close the browser. So that is the reason that you can able to observe that if the cookie is expired, for example, if I'm giving it like an 60 millisecond, then localhost followed by login.php. Immediately it is been setting and it been expiring. That is the reason we can't see this. So into, I will write some 60. Right, so I'll check this for the problem analysis. Okay, so it is taking milliseconds or second. I will confirm you because so we can check this. For example, okay, the cookie is expiring within no time actually. I will check this. So I'm saving this again. So I'll let you know about these details. So let it be 0 because it is not accepting when it is not 0. Okay. Here you need to remember that something if you're creating like this, so make sure that the cookie need to expire when browser is closed. So hence you make it the value called as a 0. Okay, if you want to expire the cookie, so this can be with your shopping cart that you want to hold your products for no more than some time. Then you can set that particular cookies to some limited value. Okay, this is about cookies. Similarly, we are having sessions. So if you want to set a session, then in PHP it provides a method called as. So you already know the drawback of cookies. What is the problem with cookies? If browser does not allow you to, if you restrict the browser to off the cookies, then it will be a problem that you can't check that cookies has been sending to the browser or not. So that is the drawback. The cookie you can't set no more than 4 KB of value. Okay, and no more than 30 cookies are allowed for advanced browsers. So these are the restrictions on cookies, and your hijackers can also check the cookies. So your sensitive data you can't put up into the cookies. Okay, so that is the reason we'll go with a mechanism called as we go with a mechanism called as an sessions. So there is a method called as session underscore start. So what this will do, this will let you to start a session for this particular website. Okay, so now similarly as you are having an dollar underscore cookie as super global array, so in a very similar manner we are having a dollar underscore session as a super global array which is associative array. So we can set directly the values to this. So I will show you how to set the values to your uh, sessions. So if the user is successful, I will not set now cookie, but instead let it be the cookie as usual, and I will set another variable with the help of a session. Okay, so I give the name for this called as user1 or user only. Okay, so user, and you can assign a value for this. So this is like an array. This is like an array where the value of this will be dollar username, means the username will be allotted to this. Okay, so now you can see in the home page, instead of accessing the cookie like this, I can also check for if is set of dollar underscore session. So session is separate super global array, cookie is separate super global array. Okay, so it has its own index, it has its own index. Okay, so now if this is okay, then I want to retrieve. So now I'm doing double check now. Okay, what is the double check? That I am going to check both the cookie is there as well as the session is there for this website or not. So I will check dollar some user equal to dollar underscore. So how to get that particular session? That because it is an array, we can get it again with the name of it like this. Okay, so I will write it here, echo. This I am writing in capital letters. Welcome to user with session name or with session value. Again, sessions do have both things called as an name and value. So dollar user. Okay, so now here you can able to check that when I run this program now, when I run this program, then you can able to observe login.php. There is an error on line number 18, it seems. We will check. Not here, maybe. Yeah, why? Because I did not close this inner if. So here, this need to be closed. This is the closing of this, and there is a else part. Okay. So again, I try to run login dot. I try to run localhost slash L capital. Okay, because it is a case sensitive in your URL bar. So how your page name should be there, it should be as it is. So if you misspell the name, then your program will not get executed. So we'll recheck the program. So is set of dollar, let's go of this, right? This is fine. Then this is fine. So we need to check whether we are setting the cookies or not. So let us disable first of all this cookie, because we go either with any one of the mechanism, both will work anyhow. I'm just commenting this. So this will be the if condition, and this will be the else for this. Okay, so no more cookies now. Only we are checking with the this thing. Login.php again. We'll enter the username and password. It is not letting the cookies to be set for a session. So we try to print the before this we try to echo dollar underscore session with that name called as an user. So we need to check whether user is being setting or not. I'm commenting this why, because it is by default it is going to login.php. That is the reason we are commenting out this. Undefined variable. Okay. 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 The problem here is because here also I need to write session underscore start. Until you start the session, you will not get this super global array called as in dollar underscore session. That is only the reason that we can't able to access this. Now this is fine. Now we got the problem. So on wherever you want to access the cookies, sorry, sessions, then you need to write session underscore start. Okay. So let us rerun the program with again the login page. I will set the cookie as well as session. So this will be login.php. Now you can see that you are welcoming the user with this is with the help of cookies, and this is the next in capital letter is with the help of the sessions. So this is the usage of cookies and sessions. You can write more programs on this. I'll send you one program. There is a program in your in your PHP textbook. I have sent you a PHP textbook on page number 285. There is a program. You make a note of this page number 285. There is a program on shopping cart. Okay, you try to analyze that particular program. Okay, you need to retrieve the values from database and you need to go that. Okay, which looks similar to like this localhost slash eShop. So in the last class I demonstrated you this. Okay, this also uses and cookies and sessions, okay, to store the values. So like add to the cart, then this particular product is being added to the session, and that session is being displaying the values like this. Okay, and if you remove this, then you're removing the value from the session. So this you try to understand this logic. I will send you this particular code. You can build your own shopping cart application. Okay, right. And the next principle is Ajax. So what is Ajax? Ajax stands for asynchronous Java and XML. So why we use this? Why we use this? That whenever you click, suppose if you are doing some operation here, there is called a post back mechanism. Post back is nothing but whenever you click on certain button, then your whole page is getting refreshed, means your whole page is getting submitted to your server. So to avoid this, to submit the whole page to the server, we'll make some part of HTML page should be sent to the server. So how does it possible is with the help of Ajax. So I will demonstrate you with one program, then you can able to understand how Ajax will work. Okay, let us analyze this code first of all. So try to understand this very carefully. So I want to get the product details, for example. So we wrote earlier programs, if you remember, get select product with MySQL, okay, where user is submitting with some PID, okay, with some product ID, and you are getting that particular product. Okay, so now what I can do for this is I can submit the product to this, okay, asynchronously, and this will return me a result. That result I will be holding in my with the help of Ajax, and we can get the item. Okay, so we will check this. So the product, this is the name of this, and our program is here. So I will let you explain. So this is the URL which I want to access. Okay, so the name of this is PHP, and it takes an argument called as an PID. So here actually, here it is a post method, but I will convert that it into an get method. But I convert that into a get method. Wherever post is there, post will be replaced with get method. This you already know when I told you about getting the parameters from the user. Okay, so I will save this. So all the why, because in my parameter what I wrote in my Ajax is, so this is very interesting concept, you listen carefully. So this will be the name of that particular ID which has to be received here. Okay, so actually the name is PID, so this is PID only. Okay, so I remove the submit here. Why? Because in my regard there is no concept of submit. Okay, so I'll just comment this out. Okay, I will pass you with this program, don't worry. Why? Because I'm calling this with the help of Ajax now. So it has only PID, and that PID will get it to this, and it will return as a result. So how to send a request to a page, with the help of Ajax, now we are demonstrating. Okay, so this is the URL, which page you want to call, and what ID you want to pass to that. Okay, so this document.getElement by name should be one element on your page. Okay, so here this is the main logic for this window.xml HTTP request, because this Ajax is dependent on XML, so hence I need to create an object related to that particular XML request. Okay, so XML HTTP request is one variable. So I am checking that whether your window type belongs to either Chrome or Explorer, means Windows Explorer, or means Internet Explorer, or it is Mozilla Firefox, or what type of browser you are using. Depending on that, we are creating an object. Okay, that object is new XML HTTP request. So your Chrome browser, if you are using, then it go for this request of new XML HTTP request. If you are using Internet Explorer, then it will create a new ActiveX object with Microsoft and so and so. Okay, so now we got an object called a request object. With this request object, you are having certain properties. These properties are nothing but, so I am opening that particular URL. What is the URL? URL is being specified here, the name of the URL. Okay, and the method is get. So if you can also write a post method to this, when you send the data with post method also, it can accept. But as I change it to get, so let it be get as it is. Okay, and send request. Whenever it sends a request, then when request is being sent, if there a state change is nothing but if your URL respond with some data, then that particular responded data will get it, and we need to have a one method. So this is the method name or a function name. When URL is being submitted successfully, then you can get it, or otherwise there is some problem on your server that it can't able to call the URL. Okay, so once the request is being sent, if the request is successful, then you get a status called as 4. Okay, accordingly you are having an failures errors also. So if your data is not being received or any other thing, then you'll get appropriate 400 error. Okay, so which means that page not found error can also be there, which means your page you have been requesting is not located on the server. Okay, so once it is there, then request dot response text. What is this response text? Response text is nothing but the data which is being sent from that particular page is called as a response text. So that response text is being stored in one variable, and that variable I will display to the user. Okay, so in this regard, I will send a product ID, and it should receive me an product details. Okay, so for that reason we create a form. The form should consist of one input button, sorry, input whose type is text, and name is, what is the name? You can understand from here. The name I can give it like an P simple or PID or product ID. So it will check on my form whether this product ID is there or not. Okay, so this is the product ID. Okay, and there is a button called as an to be. So this is just a name of the button. Anyhow, that name will not be used anywhere, and this is not a submit button. You check carefully. Okay, and you can write an value for this. This is a simple button. So the value for this is get details or get product details. So whenever user click on this, then you are calling a Ajax, okay, with send info. So what does it do? It will send a information, means with the help of a function. Then that function will call this URL, and that URL in turn will send you a response. That response is being binding to one element called as a check. So we need to have one element whose ID will be checked, and that value will be getting displayed to us. Okay, so this is a very simple case. So I'll save this. So we should have appropriate HTML tags. So this is HTML head, title is Ajax, okay. So I will close this head section. In the body also you can write the script. Already you know this. So in the body I am writing the script, and the form need to be closed here, and this is the body tags end here, and HTML will end here. Okay, so let us save this to, this will be a normal HTML page. Please listen carefully. It is not an, so Ajax.html page. This is not a PHP or any other page. So this will be a simple HTML page. So localhost followed by Ajax dot, sorry, HTML. So now when I enter the product ID, so this is ID actually. Now you can see when I enter 1, then automatically the product is, you're getting the product details. Okay, so now you can see here that you are sending this particular PID, okay, to your product. So I don't have a submit button, so I have to remove this submit. So in the Ajax, name is also being sending. So instead I will create an input type equal to button. You can also do like this. Okay, I will remove this because it's been sending when you are having a name, then it sends as a name value pair. So I don't want to send it like a name. So on click, I'll simply write value equal to so no proper line. So get product. Now what you can observe here is the thing you need to get observe is this is a HTML page, but still it is getting connected to database. Okay, so how does it possible? It is making asynchronous communication with that. Okay, so this product get product details you from where you are getting this. I am getting from my page. I will close all this confusion. So from where I am getting this? From select product ID, your whole page will be sent back. Okay, means it also has a form which also has a value called then get product details. So it is sending that whole response to us as a back as HTML. So it includes the response with this. Okay, so that is the reason you're also getting a form. You're also getting a form included with that. So you can see that when you enter this value, nothing page is not getting refresh. Okay, only a part of the page is getting refreshed. So if I get it as a one get product, then that particular product details you are getting. Okay, if you say if you write two, then that product is getting. Okay, if you view the page source code, then you can't see any output here. Okay, why? Because to this ID we are setting the inner HTML. Okay, so even though the data is there here, okay, in the view page source code you can't able to visualize. Why? Because you are calling this with the help of an Ajax. Okay, you try to understand, this is very simple logic. So suppose if you want to get a result from user. Okay, I will write get result.php. I will pass the roll number equal to that particular roll number. So your task today is you enter the roll number here. Okay, B18CS some 001, then get result, then immediately a table should be displayed with your result. So you have to write a PHP code for getting in details. Okay, so any doubt? If any doubt you can raise, or else you can provide your attendance, make it fast. Everyone provide your attendance. I will stop the session. So today what we discuss is cookies and sessions and how to use Ajax. These are extra concept. This is not there in your syllabus. Okay, so there might be a chance that you can get in your examination what is cookies and sessions and PHP. Okay, so this class helps you to write perfectly the external exam. Even though it's not there, people will not ask you, but still you can get it. Okay, I hope everyone provided the attendance. Did all of you provided the attendance? Shall I close the meeting? Make it fast.